What is up? Welcome back, everybody, to another super exciting episode of Unreal Creations, our dedicated series we partnered up with Epic Games to showcase to all of you guys some amazing creators inside Fortnite, otherwise known as UEFN. This week's episode is super fun because, as you guys know, we cover a lot of esports news, and this guy, a former esports owner, is now making maps and games inside of Fortnite. We take you to the city of what he is actually calling the Heart of Atlantis with some underwater activities where you can also ride dragons and do a lot of freaking cool things. And also forgot to mention, if you guys have any UEFN or Fortnite creators who want to be showcased throughout this series, please DM us, show us their gameplay. We would love to cover as many people as possible. So we hope you guys all enjoy. Here it is.
Well, I'm Reno. I'm the guy behind Massive, the team that's currently working on the new UEFN experiences. I've been in the Fortnite scene for the last 4.5 years, but through a competitive side of thing. I have been studying 3D since I was young and wanted to do game design. And I have never been like, I've been kind of a jack of all trades. And when UEFN came around, it kind of gave me the opportunity to kind of use my talent from all the different things that I've learned in 3D space as a gamer from esports and kind of combine that into one thing. And I'm super happy to be able to, have this platform to utilize that for me, who's like not as skilled enough to get like hired by a company like, Disney or whatever, but I can still do stuff here as a creator and learn and grow and hopefully one day, create stuff that is hopefully as good as that. So, yeah.
And so on the esports side of things, it's become Legends, right?
Yeah, that's my former team. Yeah.
What was your role with that esports team? And then obviously the transition to the more creative side, how did that go?
Yeah, so I founded Become Legends. It was me and my ex-girlfriend. We saw like Fortnite was getting really big, and I felt like when I started looking at it, it was a lot of young people who were super talented, but they didn't have really like good structure and orgs. And I had worked in esports previously, and I thought, hey, if I can apply my knowledge into this and build an esports team, it would be great. I quickly realized that being an esports org in Fortnite is very different than everywhere else. I learned that like in the first week. I kept at it for like 4 years, and we tried everything. Ultimately, as every esports org, the financial side of things didn't really add up. There was lots of challenges, and we just realized, it's just going to be an uphill battle. When I heard rumors about UEFN, I'm like, hey, maybe we can, apply some of this into the UEFN space and become storytellers in that sense too, because that's kind of the thing that worked best for us, the storytelling part. And I think it just sparked an interest in me, and everything just clashed together like at perfect timing. And I'm super happy to have the opportunity to be able to work with UEFN right now.
Speaking of Heart of Atlantis, so if anyone that was a casual were to come across this game, how would you describe this game?
I think it's a bit of an untraditional tycoon-ish map with like a story mode element to it. I think we're just, scraping the surface of what's possible. We're still learning UEFN. So I think it should be like a good game to pick up for people who are interested in, going on a little adventure, taking a break from the Battle Royale or Zero Build or whatever they prefer. And it's a bit different tycoon map, I would say. We got a bigger project coming down the road, and we needed to figure out how can we, have riding dragons or mounts in any way. And we wanted to do that in Fortnite, and it was actually quite a challenging thing to figure out. But I think once we discovered it, it worked really, really well. That's one of the things that really stands out on this map. And second thing is the Atlantis, the underwater part. I haven't seen that anywhere the way we've done it. I wanted to figure out, hey, can we make like an underwater world? We thought, hey, let's just try it here and build like an Atlantean thing. If it works, it's going to be super cool.
Two separate questions here. What would you say playing through is your favorite part about this game? And then what was the most challenging part of this whole process?
I think my favorite part is like, the story things, which give you like an incentive to move forward all the time. I think trying to discover it, we know some players are like more used to more traditional tycoon maps where you stand on like one spot, you generate money, you just build around you, but here you're kind of progressing. And I think that's one of my favorite parts, that it kind of takes you on an adventure. And I think one of the most challenging things is obviously figuring out the dragon riding, the complexity of that, because one thing we can't do in Fortnite or UEFN yet is taking control of like a player's character. So meaning we can't take your character and move him around exactly how we want it. So we needed to figure out a super intuitive way how it looks like it's actually riding a dragon. And we looked at Nick A30's map, the roller coaster map that he made. In there you have like this part where you're sitting on a roller coaster. You can actually see your character is like moving and the hair is flailing. You're like, what the heck, how did they do this? And we tried to figure it out so long. So So we figured out this device, which is like super simple. It's so stupid, but it worked, and ultimately, it's super cool that we managed to figure out. The second thing I think is like making it smooth for the players, so it feels like intuitive when you ride around, which is also a bit of a difficult task. So it doesn't feel like sluggish or laggy. We had to work a lot with that, but now I think it feels perfect. Like there's no choppiness, nothing, and that was like something we tried to figure out for like 2 weeks or so, I think, until we removed all the chop. It's just smooth and seamless right now.
You know, we've spoke to a lot of devs and so many different backgrounds coming into the early stages of UEFN, and it sounds like you guys, you know, keep a good eye on other successful maps, right? Of new things to try or new things to attempt to do. So what's it like with these early stages of UEFN and knowing there's thousands of other map makers and creators out there kind of trying to learn this thing at the same time? You know, is that kind of a thrilling spot to be in? Is it exciting? Is it stressful? What's it like to be able to see all these other showcases being published every single day?
I think it's fantastic. It's amazing. The more people are part of it, the better it is. I think everybody kind of, even maybe people feel there's competition. I feel more we're like pushing each other forward. If somebody succeed, you know, you get a new landmark where you can look to and say, hey, let's figure out how they did this, or how did that guy get 100k. So I feel everybody's kind of pushing each other. Everybody has somebody they look up to in a bit of a different sense. And I think having, you know, more creators, more people, it's not just like a creator to consumer journey. It's like a creator to creator journey as well. And I think that's like super fascinating, and I love being a part of it. And I think it's great for growth of the platform to have better and better experiences. And the more people push it forward, the more we can learn from each other and, you know, create better experiences for everybody else.
So when it comes from being a former like esports org owner and transitioning back into video game development with UEFN, do you see any like parallels, whether it be like the competition in the Fortnite or UEFN space, or like any skill set you've learned with esports org ownership that transitions well? How would you compare the two?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the first thing is like the audience is quite similar. So kind of everything we learned in the Fortnite space from competitive side and learning to work with the audience on the content side, I think it applies very well into the UEFN space. Obviously, you know, there's a bit younger audience, I would say, that plays some of the creative maps compared to the super hardcore competitive side. It kind of feels like the early stages of Fortnite when you see somebody like crank a 90 and we're like, oh, holy shit, not push him, you know, that's sick. There's definitely more, and I think we definitely benefit from being in the Fortnite scene for so long, and I hope we can leverage and use it well.
I'm sure it's been interesting as UEFN develops. You know, you kind of had to attune yourself, look for community resources, look to friends, other maps, whatever it might be, to try and learn as fast as possible. What has it been like getting used to UEFN? Can you maybe name some of the big plus sides, and then maybe some of the downsides that are still hopefully going to develop into better things in the future?
Absolutely. So like just coincidentally, as I said, I started working with Unreal Engine when I was really young, and I didn't touch it for many years, worked with esports. Then I came back and opened up Unreal Engine because a friend started to show me metahumans and the possibility of UE5, and I started learning it. And just the Unreal Engine editor in itself is extremely intuitive, and it's actually, it might seem complex, but I feel it's like once you sit down and you start to look around and just drag blocks out, move stuff around, try to figure out how it works, I think it's a very intuitive tool. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of tutorials on Unreal Engine that's been built over the last 10-15 years that still apply to UEFN. I think the hardest thing right now for us is the memory limit, like the 100k memory limit which they had. It's like we want to put so much stuff in the games, like we have to think around that, create bigger and better experiences, and even more seamlessness between Unreal Engine and UEFN would be amazing. And hopefully, obviously, you know, over time we hope we can do more custom stuff, you know, play custom characters, skins, all these kind of things. It's gonna take time, but I think we'll get there eventually. And yeah, but it's an amazing journey to be a part of, so I look forward to the future.
And again, a huge shout out to Epic Games for partnering up with us for this series. We love showcasing and showing off some devs out there. We've talked to indie devs, we've talked to smaller dev teams, all showcasing some amazing projects. And seriously, the progression over this and what it's going to bring over the next few years is going to be so fun to see and to track, and has been really fun to even play. And especially to talk to these people, the wide variety of backgrounds they come from has been just so eye-opening. I love this series more than most things we're doing right now, besides the daily news, which I love too. So we hope you guys all enjoy, and until next time, take care of yourselves. We'll see you back here soon.